recording. Okay. All right. Let's go share a screen, and let me bring the here we go. We did 8:30 2020 last time. We did up to here. Yeah. If you remember this one. بی‌وفایی دان وفا با رد حق بر حقوق حق ندارد کس سبق. Know that faithfulness to others when it is accompanied with the rejection of God is unfaithfulness. No one has precedence over, has a prior claim to God's right. So God is the only one. Rumi tells us God's the only one who's really we should be loyal to. That's the only one. That's the major one. Now, by the way, if you're loyal to God Almighty, you're loyal to everybody because you're a loyal person. You know, by definition, and by nature, you are the faithful one, and then you'll be faithful to everybody. And you're not faithful to God, you're not faithful to nobody. Nobody. If you're attached to anything but the divine, this indicates that we are faithful to God. Oh, we have another one. Letitia, let's see. I guess Letitia is new. Hello, Letitia. Welcome to our circle gathering, Zoom meeting.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello.
You're welcome. Can you, because please remote it, yeah, when you're talking, please mute yourself because I hear my echo. I'm sorry, my voice echo. Can you tell us, Letitia, since you're the first time you're coming, can you tell us about your experience with Rumi, please?
I don't have experience. I have not read like a lot of his poems, but I've seen it because, you know, like on social media and stuff. So I'm interested in learning and reading more.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right. So since Letitia is here, Letitia, we are doing. This is your first time. We are doing. Rumi has two major works. I just want to bring you up to speed. Two major works. It has, and some minor, but let's talk about the two major ones, which is Masnavi, um, which is 6 books, and it is his his spiritual teaching, and there is a book with thousands of verses, which is called Ghazaliyat, which is love poems, and these are his basically he's talking in these poems, which is love poems to Almighty, to the divine, and just exchanges with the divine. And what we're doing in this in our gatherings, we choose one uh, poem from the Ghazaliyat, which is love poems of Rumi, and then we talk about it and we try to understand it by going to other places in Masnavi, and also in Ghazaliyat, and also in other, very rarely in other sources of Sufi literature, which and since I was born in Iran and I speak Farsi, that's my mother tongue. There is a lot of them. There is a lot of class A Sufi poets and scholars in Iran. Yeah, so but mostly it's from his work. And so uh, yeah, now this is I'm going to show you the poem. This is poem number 50, and it has few verses. We already have read it. It's not, you can, when it comes to Rumi and his teachings, you can join anytime. It doesn't matter because it's like a river. You can put your feet in it, and you will enjoy uh, the beautiful scenery uh, and the uh, and the beauty of the water everywhere you get in. So let's go. And now, so we are already up to here, which I showed you guys before. Let's go there. but it's okay. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine. Okay. So because each poem brings a point. This is this is a poem, uh, and I forgot to put گر سینه آینه کنی. Okay, I don't forgot even to put the which poem is this from. It's okay. It's probably from Ghazaliyat. I'm going to read it in Persian, then I'm going to translate it, and we're going to uh, explain it. گر سینه آینه کنی، بی کبر و بی کینه کنی، در وی ببینی هر دمش کالصبر مفتاح الفرج. Here it says, this is the translation. If you convert your heart to a mirror and empty it from egotism and hatred, you will see in your heart that patience is the key to expansion and solution. So the key in a Sufi path, in a spiritual path, the key to expansion of your heart and getting to salvation is patience. You have to be patient with yourself and others. Now, you have to be patient with yourself because if you are uh, if you are putting effort in this path, you might think, why I do not make it faster? Why I don't get to the destination faster? So that's one thing, and it's going to create some kind of um, uh, sense of urgency. And did you why I don't get to the destination? Why I'm I want to go faster, and you might blame yourself or get disappointed and discouraged. But you have to be patient with yourself. And the other patience that we need, based on Rumi, I'm not saying anything from myself, by the way. This is all Rumi and other Sufi and spiritual teachers. The other patience that we need is patience with the events, because this the in Sufism we believe the Sufis believe that the events are not important. The the uh, uh, the space that we've opened around the event is important. Please get this. This is very important. Let's say an undesirable event, God forbid, happens in your life. Okay. Now, first know that the creator of the uneventful of desire or event, desirable or undesirable, is the divine. Is divine, and there is a reason for it. We don't know. We are in dark, but there is a reason for it. And the event happens to teach us a lesson. Event is not there for to make you feel good or successful or to like or dislike. That's not the reason for the event. This is based on Sufi teachings. It is for us to open the space around it. It has a lesson in it. That's why it comes. That's why we say the creator of the events, which is the ultimate creator, which is a name for the divine, is him, is God. He creates the event, and we should not. Our mistake as we put a lot of importance on the event and do not realize the lesson and the expansion of heart and space around it. Rumi and other welcome. Yeah, nice. Thank you. Uh, so Rumi and other teachers, they tell us that the expansion and the space around the event is more important than the event. It's a very important point, and we should exercise this every moment in our life. When the event happens in your life, should do not pay attention to the event. Pay attention to the message of it. What the divine is telling me, what the universe is trying to communicate with me through this event. The event is not the point. The lesson, the message, and the space around it. And when we open the space around the event, the 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 universe intelligence which exists in all of us will come into our help and will show you the way. Now, most of the time we go back to our uh, pattern of thoughts and ego patterns that we have in our mind, and we we bring them and we seek help from them, and we follow those patterns which are old and uh, which are old uh, and usually doesn't work. The intelligence of the universe, the wisdom of the universe wants to give you a solution right at this moment for this event which happens to you. The so the creation, so we have to allow that space and that the expansion of the heart, so we can get the message and the intelligence of the universe to come and tell us how we should respond to this event or not respond at all, right? That's what it is. So you look at the people who are spiritually connected to the source. Everything they do, the wisdom comes from the divine. That's Rumi. Even Rumi says, "I'm not making these poems. I'm not making. I Who am I to make poems? It comes from the source." That's why we love it. That's why it's so lovable. So it's so lovely because it comes from the source. Everything from the source is lovely because we are made to love the source and to appreciate whatever comes from that space, from that place of wisdom and infinite creativity and infinite expansion, which is within us. We have access to it, but we mostly turn our back to it. We do not take advantage of this infinite wisdom which has universe has installed in us, and we go to this old stupid, excuse my French, pattern of our ego and follow them. That's what it says. Now this is, as a matter of fact, we're going back to the poem. ای بگرفته از وفا گوش کران، چرا بر من خسته کرده ای روی گران، چرا. This is the first verse of poem number 50. Oh, you beloved, why you are not loyal to me and running away from me, and why you are uncaring to me who is hurt by your indifference. So we are telling Rumi in this poem, he is talking from a human aspect, talking to the divine and saying, why you are not loyal to me, why you are running away from me, why you are uncaring to me, why you're hurting me, to let us know, to emphasize the point that we are the one who are doing this exactly to us, but we're projecting it on the divine. We are the one who are running away from Almighty. We are the one we are not loyal. The Almighty is loyal every moment, loyal to all of us, to all the humanity. That's His nature. He is loyal. He loves us, but we run away from Him. Right? We are indifferent to Him. We are uncaring. Rumi tells this from our point of view, from a human point of view, to let us understand and to make us understand that the the these things that we are projecting to Almighty is coming from us. بر دل من که جای توست، کارگه وفای توست، هر نفسی همی زنی زخم سنان، چرا. Why you are at every moment hurting my heart, which is your place and location and should be your workshop. We are telling, Rumi as a human being, as a representative of us, yeah, engagement. This is Gita is telling us. This approach encourages a deeper, more effective engagement with life's occurrences, fostering a sense of inner peace and spiritual development. If we are watchful in how we interpret, um, respond to, and grow from repeat occurrences of an event, we connect with ourselves at deeper levels. Thank you so much. Beautiful. Yeah. She said very nicely. Good job. Thank you. Thank you, Gita. That's true.
You're welcome.
You know,
It's
thank
your words.
No, no, it's not my word, it's not yours. It come from the source. God willing, we're trying to be connect to the source and and learn from and get the message from that. And Nabila says, I think when we blame others for our sufferings, we're running away from the divine. That's exactly right. Exactly right. Because the suffering happens for a reason. So my dad used to say, whatever the love that God had for us is million times more than the God of a mother to her children. That's the amount of love. It's profound. We cannot even imagine. That's why in Islam we say Allahu Akbar means God is the greatest of whatever you can imagine. Is greater of whatever you can imagine. The love, whatever love that you imagine, is greater than that. Whatever loyalty you think of, God has more greater than that. Everything that we think of and we can imagine, God has greater. God's he has greater of it. بر دل من که جای okay, we talk about that, right? So here we are saying that بر دل من که جای توست، کارگه وفای توست، هر نفسی همی زنی زخم سران. چرا why you're at every moment hurting my heart, which is your place and location and should be your workshop. So basically, here Rumi talks from our point of view, from and telling, hey, we why you're why you're at every moment I hurting my heart, which is your place. So here Rumi confesses that God's place, our heart is his location, should be, and it should be his workshop. Why it doesn't happen? Because we do not allow it to happen. We do not allow it to happen. This is now the thing is that God gave us the freedom to choose or not to choose. This is the freedom. So hey, I want to be I want to make you my workshop. Are you allowing me? God is telling us every moment, and we say no, 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 no. You cannot do the job, right? Oh, you are alive to my okay, this is another poem, another verse, I'm sorry. ای تو به نور مستقل، وی تو ز اختران خجل، بس دو دلی میان دل زبرگمان. چرا Oh, you are alive to my light, and stars are ashamed of their light when they realize how shining is your light. Why? Due to your delusion, you become doubtful. He says you have so much light in you that the the stars are ashamed of their light. Say, oh my God, look at Gita, look at Vita, look at Letitia, how much light they have in them, and look at our light. It starts saying, oh my God, this is not even comparable. Look, this light is amazing. So every one of us have that. By the way, every human being has a lot of light and beauty in all of us, but we don't see it, unfortunately, because we are turning our back to it. Imagine that that sun is shining and you're turning your back. You don't see sun shining, right? You see your own shadow. Okay, this is another beautiful poem from Book 1, verse 32-14. We don't believe, Beta says, we don't believe our light can be greater than all the stars combined because the sun is shining, but we are turning our back, yes, to the sun. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is so sad, we don't, yeah, there is so much light in us, and we are acting from darkness, from the ego. علتی بدتر ز پندار کمال نیست اندر جان تو ای ذوالجلال ای ذودلال. علتی بدتر ز پندار کمال نیست اندر جان تو ای ذودلال. There is no worse disease in your soul, O arrogant one, than the fantasy of perfection. This is a very famous poem among Rumi lovers, very famous, and it's a profound statement that Rumi does here. And there is no worse disease in your soul, O arrogant one, than the fantasy of perfection. Fantasy of perfection. Everybody, most of us believe that we are perfect. We are not. It's a fantasy. It's an illusion. God says, do not go there. And then another poem, Rumi says, it's going to take a lot of effort and pain and suffering for you to get rid of it. True. To get rid of this fantasy of perfection and realize that we are all imperfect and defective. We are. The perfect one and the perfect one is the Almighty. کرده حق ناموس را صد من حدید ای بسا بسته به بند ناپدید. God has made fake reputation to be like 100 pounds weight of iron. Oh, many ones is bound in the unseen chain. So this fake reputation that everybody has almost, like the fantasy of perfection, is like 100 pounds of weight. It's weighting us down, getting us up down, bringing us down to the lowest level of our being. And it's unseen. It's unseen chain. You cannot see the chain. Otherwise, it would have been easy to get rid of it, right? But this is something that bounding us, bringing us down, and it's like 100 pounds of weight. Imagine that we all have 100 pounds of weight to our, attached to our foot, and we cannot make any. We cannot uh, go up. We cannot fly. We want the soul wants to fly to the heaven, but we cannot because of this fake reputation. We don't allow it. We keep it down. That's what Rumi says here. در تگ جو هست سرگین ای فتا گرچه جو صافی نماید مر تو را. There is poop in the bed of the stream, my man, although to you the stream appears pure. Sometimes we think we are pure. We are like a pure bed of the stream, pure stream. But Rumi says, "Oh, don't you make that mistake. There is poop in the bottom of this stream." A lot of people we meet, and let's talk about ourselves. Let's not talk about worry ourselves, others. We have to look into the stream of our being and see if there is poop in the bed, and we should remove it to the best of our ability. People who thinks that their bed of a stream, that the stream is pure and beautiful and pure. These are the people who are uh, in the they have the disease of fantasy of perfection, and they have the disease of fake reputation. Right? That's what it says here. Okay, this is another verse from book 1, verse 2670. حکم حق گسترد بهر ما بساط که بگویید از طریق انبساط. God's law has rolled the carpet of mercy and grace out for us. Speak out in an open-hearted way. God is addressing us, talking to us, telling us, speak out in an open-hearted way. Expand your heart, open the space around it, speak in an open-hearted way. And it says, I have rolled the carpet of mercy and grace under your feet. Everybody has that, but you don't see it. We don't see the carpet of mercy and grace. And it says, I spread this beautiful carpet of mercy and grace for you. So please speak out in an open-hearted way. You are bound by grace. You are all swimming in the ocean of grace and mercy, and we don't realize. See, God has given so much blessing to us and asks us to speak in an open-hearted way. Deal with people with an open-hearted way. Accept others. Don't judge. Open your heart for everybody, for every thought, for every opinion. Why not? We are all children of Almighty, right? The divine, and we are here to live in peace and mercy and beauty with each other. Now, this is another beautiful poem, verse from book 3, 363. بس دیدی بست خود را آب ده چون برآید میوه با اصحاب ده. You have felt the expansion. I pray and hope that all of us feel the expansion in our heart. Now he says, if that's so that you feel, water your expansion, make it bigger, make it stay longer. And when the fruit appears, give it to your friend. That's what the Rumi is doing, right? Rumi is coming from expansion, infinite expansion. And the fruit is coming out of him in thousands and millions, infinite amount. And he says, let me share it with you. That's what he's doing. Rumi is sharing his expansion of heart and the blessings and mercy and wisdom that comes from the Master of Universe, brings it to us and shares with us. He's sharing it with us, right? So that's what when you have expansion, please share it with your friends. Share the expansion and water it. Help it to grow, help it to become more and abundant. Another time we go to this poem. حکم حق گسترد بهر ما بساد که بگویید از طریق انبساط. God's law has rolled the carpet of mercy and grace out for us. Speak out in an open-hearted way. We all have to speak in an open-hearted way. This is Rumi's message to us. چون ملائک گوی لا علم لنا تا بگیرد دست تو علم تنا. Say like the angels, we have no knowledge to the end that you have taught us. May take my hand, come to my aid. There is a, I don't think we have it here. There is a true love in Rumi's vision is not for the faint-hearted, but for those willing to endure in challenges. Absolutely. Thank you, Gita. Beautiful message. That is true. Here, Rumi, it refers to a verse in Quran which says that when God created Adam, basically, a human, the first human, and he said to the angels, said, come and bow to this new creature that I made. And they did. Everybody did, but Shaitan, by the way. But Satan, he didn't. That's why he got in trouble with God. And then he told them, then the angels said, whatever you taught us, we know. We don't know anything but what you taught us already. Here, Rumi says, learn from the angels. Learn from the angels and say that we have no knowledge on whatever, unless whatever you taught us. Whatever you taught us, we know. Anything else, we don't know. To the end that you have taught us. We just know what you have taught us. So if we say that, then hopefully, God willing, God the divine will take our hand. We have to confess our deficits. We have to confess our defects. We have to confess our ignorance. We have to say, God, I am ignorant. Please help me. Make me understand. Make me wiser. I'm dark. Put heart in me, please. Yes, I have light, but I'm not exposed to it. I'm not taking advantage of it. So please teach me how to access my own light. You see? That's what. So we have to say, like Rumi says, learn from the angels. You see, they were wise. They told God, we know whatever you taught us. So please come and help us. Teach us more. Teach us more. Tell us more about it. And we should ask every moment of our lives from Almighty, the Divine, to teach us more. Because the amount of knowledge and wisdom is infinite. Is infinite. Whatever we know is not. We can know more, right? All of us. Okay, this is from book 3, verse 40-54. چون فرشته عقل کیشان یک بودند بهر حکمتهاش دو صورت شدند. چون فرشته و عقل کیشان یک بودند بهر حکمتهاش دو صورت شدند. Like the angel and the major intellect, which were really one, but became two forms of the sake for the sake of his God's wise purposes. Okay, so here Rumi says angel and major intellect. Aql, say in his language, aql means not. See, we have two aql. The aql we say, or for the Sufi said there is two aql. There is two intellect, minor and major. Minor is to run your daily affairs. You know, you make a, you know how to make a money, how to run this, how to do this, how to drive. Blah, blah, blah. These are one intellect. Then he says there is this intellect is to run your worldly affairs. Then there is a major intellect for your spiritual journey, to get to accomplish the goal that we are here for. We are not here to make a living, you know, get a job, get married, have children, and die. God says, I'm not. I didn't make you for that. You're much bigger than that. I made you to come to me. I made you to become me, to find me in you, to find me in yourself. That's what God says. That this is so. Do it, please. Accomplish your goal. It's full of truth. Once is empty, but most people fear empty. That's exactly right. It's scary, by the way. Yes, you're right. Then we get to, so this is major and minor. It's the same. They are the same thing from the same essence. They're one, but became two forms for the sake of wise purposes. So God, you know, showed it manifested in two forms. Sorry, something is stuck to my throat. نفس و شیطان هر دو یک تن بودند، در دو صورت خیش را بنمودند. Book 3, verse 40-53. The ego, or fleshy and worldly desires, and the devil, both have always been essentially one person, but they have manifested themselves in two forms. Listen to this. Amazing, amazing. As people say, awesome. Isn't that awesome? What Rumi teaches us here. Look what he's doing. Great man, great. God bless his soul. I mean, he's in heaven, obviously, but wow, what a spiritual master he was. نفس و شیطان هر دو یک تن بودند، در دو صورت خویش را بنمودند. The ego, or fleshy and worldly desires, and the devil are the same. Both have been essentially one person, from one essence, but they have manifested themselves in two forms. So please remember, your worldly desires, your fleshly and worldly desires are the same as devil. That's not me, that's Rumi. Then another beautiful poem, Divan Shams, poem number 1344. This is from Ghazaliyat, by the way. This one from book 3 of Masnavi. This is from Ghazaliyat. Worldly passions are greed, anger, hatred, or jealousy. That's right. دم او جان دهدت روز نفخ تو بپذیر، کار او کن فیکون است نه موقوف علل. His breath will give you life. Will you give you life? Go and accept the concept of God has blown from his soul into human body. His work is based on the concept that God commands creation and all will be created. It is not based on the concept of causation. He says, he's just telling us, listen, it is his breath that will give you life. God's breath. This is, you know, it is in Quran and it is in Bible too, that God created the human from stinking mud, and then he blew his own soul into it. So we had God's soul. Look at the beauty of this story. It's not, it doesn't matter if it's true or not. I don't know. But look at the moral of the story. We are a combination of stinking mud and God's soul. That's why, ladies, we are in trouble. We are in trouble because we have two totally opposite forces are in us. One wants to bring us down, down, and the other one will take us to the heavens. Look at it, right? So God has blown from his soul into human body. His works is a concept that God commands creation and all will be created. In Quran, there is a lot of places. He says, Kun fayakun. It's God's work. He says, become and it becomes. There is no causation. I don't have to do A to get to B. In God, we have to do that. We are bound by causation because we are bound by our ego. We are imprisoned by our ego, but he's out. But God, if he says, become, it become. And by the way, all of us, if we get ourselves out of this prison of the ego, then you say become and it becomes. Because you're becoming a God, divine. Because you don't have any ego, you don't have no impurity, you're 100% pure, 100% pure, 100% soul of God. You do whatever God can do, right? That's what he says here. So this is very important. He says, do not look for a cause and effect, for a causation to get life from God. Because he's not bound by causation. Go accept from him as soon as he says, become, you become. Whatever God wants becomes. And it's not based on concept of causation. So we don't have to look for any reasons. We ask God, please give me life, make me alive. And he will do it. With no causation, with no means. Right? With no means, without no causation, with no reason. He can do it. As soon as say, I want, hey, Gita, become alive right at this moment, you become alive. Gita, become alive at this moment, you become alive right moment. Letitia, become alive right now. Become alive because he doesn't need causation. God divine doesn't need causation. As soon as he say you become, you'll become. Whatever he says, it will be created right on the spot. We'll create it basically. That's a beautiful. It's very well known, by the way. This one. This is another well-known poem verse from Azariyat. گفت آدم که زلم نفسنا او ز فعل حق نبود غافل چما. گفت آدم که زلم نفسنا او ز فعل حق نبود غافل چما. Adam said, this is book 1, verse 1489. Adam said, we have done wrong unto ourselves. He was not like us, ignorant of the action of God. Therefore, Adam said, O God, we did wrong to ourselves because he was not ignorant of God's wisdom. So we have to confess that it is our fault to bring the material and worldly thing to our core, and we promise to stop this faulty action. This is, you know what? This is refers to that verse in Quran that when Satan deceived Adam and Eve and told them to eat from this specific fruit that God has told them not to, then they were kicked out of heaven and came to the earth, right? They fell down to the earth because heaven is up there. I mean, not up there as a location, up there as a place of being. And then so Adam came to the earth, right? And then when Adam said, "Oh God, I did wrong to myself. I did wrong to myself. I was the responsible one. I take responsibility for what happened to me, that I was kicked out of heaven, which is heaven in this sense is being next to God, being at the presence of the Almighty. That's what it is really. Not that you think it's a location. There's presence of God Almighty, which we are away from, which we are far from. We fell down from that place. That's hell. Not being with the beloved is hell, isn't it? If you love somebody and you're not with them, it doesn't matter where you are in hell. I mean, that's exactly this is an so this is just a worldly example. Now think about the Almighty, which how much love we have for the Almighty, and we are away from God. So Rumi says when Adam said, "Oh God, I did wrong to myself," he was not like us, ignorant act of the action of God. He was aware. We do every moment in our lives, we do something wrong, and we are responsible for it, and we fall down to the earth, and then still we say, "Oh, it's not my fault. It's God's fault. It's this guy's fault. It's my mom's fault, my dad's fault, my sister, my brother." You see, here Rumi says, learn from for Adam. He he confessed to his sin, and he said, "It's my fault that I got in trouble." So you do the same. Don't be ignorant. Be aware and realize and see that you are the one who is wronging yourself. Nobody else. Nobody else is doing us wrong. We are doing wrong to ourselves. That's what Rumi says here. هین بگردان از تحری رو و سر که پدید آمد معاد و مستقر. Listen, this is book 6, verse 26-27. Listen, avert your face and heed from searching now that the destination and home has come into view. Now Rumi says, if you struggled, you found the way after a lot of struggles. That's what we are doing. We are reading Rumi because we want to find the way to salvation, right? To salvation, to get to the destiny that we were made to do. We came to this world for a reason. We want to accomplish the goal. He says, when you found it, when you know that you are here for a reason, you have to get rid of all your ego and attain salvation. Then when you found that, avert your face and heed from searching. Stop searching. Now that the destination and home has come into view. Now that you know what you're here for, do not distract. Stay on the path. Quran says, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Guide us to the righteous path. The right path. That's the path, by the way. That's the righteous path. The path of salvation. The path of knowing God. The path of getting rid of the ego. That's what it is. He said, when you found it, don't distract. Don't look around. Don't go, search YouTube or whatever. You found the way. You found what you're here for. So go on and go, stay on the path and go, and you will reach your destination. That's what Rumi says here. Now we are going back again to the poem from one of the verses of poem 50. ای بگرسته از وفا گوش کران، چرا بر من خسته کرده ای روی گران، چرا oh you beloved, why you're not loyal to me and running away from me, and why you're uncaring to me who is hurt by your indifference. And we remember we said that this is we are projecting on Almighty and say, hey, who are the one who running from me, and you're uncaring to me, and he's hurt, and we are hurt by your indifference. Exactly the opposite. We are not loyal to the Almighty. We are uncaring to the Almighty, and we are indifferent to the divine. Now here he has good news for all of us in verse 411 from book 3. صبح نزدیک است خاموش کم خروش من همی کوشم پی تو مکوش. The dawn is here. The dawn is near. I'm sorry. The dawn is near. Hush. Do not sob. I am working for you. You don't need to struggle. That's when you got to the point of that you know where is your destination and where you have to go. and you're on the right path, do not distract, do not go look at this way, that way, just look at the path and keep going. Then he says, oh, dawn is near. Do not sob, do not cry. I'm working for you. You don't need to struggle. I am now coming to you. Don't do anything. Just sit and let me come and capture you. Let me come and get you in my arms. That's what God telling us. The sun rises in you and you don't listen to the talk of your ego and open the space in your heart and have peace and wisdom, and you experience joy without a cause. That's what I mean here. You experience joy without a cause. You can create new things because love has come and shut your ego's mouth, and another mouth has opened within you. When the ego's mouth shuts down, another Rumi says another mouth will open. The mouth of God will open in you. The mouth of your light, the mouth of your spirit, the mouth of your soul will open up in your in your being, and that will talk. Even if they say the sea is in your mouth, in your eyes the sea will not be found. Even if they say the sea is in your mouth, in your eyes the sea will not be found. Okay. So یا صبح نزدیک از خاموش کم خروش من همی کوشم پی تو مکوش تو مکوش. Basically, Rumi says here that this is from the mouth of God, by the way. Is God telling us, it's the dawn is very near. We are human. We have gone through a lot of stages to get here, and while one might make grand claims or appearances, the sea in the mouth, the true essence or depth of experience, the sea in the eyes cannot be fully perceived or captured in such superficial terms. It highlights the distinction between outward claims and inner truth. Absolutely. Thank you, Peter. Thank you very much. So here Rumi says, from the mouth of God, he says from God's mouth that, hey, don't the dawn is near. We have gone through a lot of stages. We were, Rumi and other places at Jamadi Murdam Amisha. I was a thing. Then I became a plant. Then from plant I became an animal. This is stages that we have gone through, and now from now I got dead to the I became dead to my animalness and became Adam, become human being. Oh, why should I be scared? I never became less from dying. Every time I died, I got to a higher place. Then he says, then after becoming to dying to a human being, I become an angel. Then he says, I have to die from an angel and I have to go to the higher places. And then he says, everything will die, but the things who are facing Almighty, the Divine. Then he says, I will die from angel and become something that nobody can imagine. Nobody can imagine. Then I become nothingness, empty, as Vita says. And I say, I become empty, and I say, everything will go back to the Almighty. Everything will go back to the Divine. Beautiful. This is book 3, verses 3900 to 3906. You can check it if you can find. It is on internet too. You can find Nicholson's. It's available free, but some other places probably. This is a beautiful, very well known in Sufi gatherings and among Sufis. Book 3, verse 3900 to 3906. This is 7 verses. Beautiful. 6 verse, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, so God says that become quiet, don't cry, don't worry. I'm working for you. You know, He created us for that purpose, and He's working on it every day, in and out. And don't struggle. Don't struggle. If I will do your job basically. I just, the trouble is that uh, we do the opposite. We struggle in the opposite direction. I mean, we move away from God Almighty every second. We move away. God is trying to get close to us. We move away, move away, move away. That's what we're doing, right? Yeah. Yeah, let's do this one. Oh, beautiful verses, ها. چون به من زنده شود این مرده تن، جان من باشد که رو آرد به من. When this man whose body is dead shall become living through me, then it will be my spirit that turns its face towards me. When this man whose body is dead, who is dead basically, and shall become living through me, then it will be my spirit that turns its face toward me. Basically, God says here, I am looking for myself. I am searching myself. I am everything. There is nobody but me. This is what it is, really. I mean, we think we are doing something, we are doing nothing. God is searching itself, and God is finding itself through us. Everything is God. That's what Rumi says, by the way. I'm not saying it. Who am I to say anything, by the way? We don't exist, friends. We don't exist. This ego gives us the appearance and illusion of existence. The only being alive is the Almighty and the Divine. Nothing exists. And here, God says, when this dead body becomes living through me, then it's my spirit that faces toward me. It's me which becomes alive again. It's me looking at itself, basically. There's nobody else, ladies. There is nobody else. It's Him. It's God. It's the divine. Nobody else exists. We don't exist. Nothing exists but the Almighty. I think that's a good place to to stop. 8 o'clock. If you ladies have any point to make, please go ahead, or comment suggestions.
Yeah, thank you so much for all the explanations. It was wonderful.
You're welcome, ma'am. Thank you so
Yes,
much
thank
for your
you.
Thank you for your attendance, ma'am. Do you have anything to say, my dear?
No, it was a beautiful experience, and
Thank you.
I count the days for the next session. Literally, I mean, I've stopped looking forward to anything as much as I look forward to our sessions,
Thank God.
and that says a lot. That
Yeah,
that really says a lot. I just realized it when I said it myself that, how much it means to me.
yeah. That's that's you are the one who bring the. You see, God says, I am looking at myself. You're looking at yourself. Everything is. You see, it's amazing. It's profound. It's like, I don't know. I mean, when it comes to this, you can just have to get quiet. There's nothing you can say. It's like Rumi says, hey, God says, everything is me. There's nothing but me. We just think that we exist. We don't exist. It's this ego, it's this illusion, this fantasy that it's nothing. And whatever. You know what I mean. How about you, Letitia? You have anything to say, my dear? Okay, that's fine. All right. So thank you for your attendance, and may God bless you all. And God, inshallah, God willing, we'll have another time together and enjoy these beautiful, profound poems from Rumi, inshallah.
Inshallah.
God bless you guys. Take care.
Allah Hafiz.
Khuda Hafiz.
Hold on.
Bye bye.